If you love testing your general knowledge and playing quizzes, you're in the right place. I've got a great 60-question quiz for you today. If you're not familiar with this format, it's quite simple. We'll start with some easy-ish questions. That includes a fun picture round. Then we'll move on to the medium level questions and finally finish with my tough 10. I know many of you like to keep score and set yourselves a goal for these quizzes, so here are some benchmarks that you can aim for. I'll put that up again when we get to the end of the quiz, so if you're ready, let's play this quiz. The muscles found in the front of your thigh are known as what? Triceps, hamstrings, or quadriceps? They are quadriceps. Equinologists study which animals? Cows, horses, or dogs? The answer is horses. What is the first name of James Bond author Fleming? Is it Felix, Ian, or James? It is Ian Fleming. The 18 vertical columns of the periodic table are called what? Are they sets, periods, or groups? They are groups. What colour flag would you wave to surrender? White, black, or red? The answer is white. The shoulder and hip are examples of what type of joint? Pivot, hinge, or ball and socket? The answer, ball and socket. What is the name of the sugar we store in our body for energy? Is that glycogen, amylase, or fructose? That is glycogen. What was the first name of the movie character Rambo? Was it John, Jim, or Peter? It was John. Acoustics is a branch of science concerned with what? Sound, light, or space? The answer is sound. The flag of Denmark is red, and which other colour? Black, white, or blue? The answer is white. Leatherback is a large species of which creature? A ray, a turtle, or a shark? A leatherback is a turtle. If you were using a spinnaker or a jib, what would you be doing? Cycling, sewing, or sailing? You would be sailing. Copper turns which colour when it oxidizes in the open air? Black, white, or green? It turns green. Which of these cities is in Switzerland? Geneva, Strasbourg, or Stuttgart? The correct one there is Geneva. The Nikkei is the stock exchange index in which city? Tokyo, Shanghai, or Manila? That's in Tokyo. Which car company produces the models 208, 308, and 408? Ford, Mercedes, or Peugeot? They're models of Peugeot. Which element was once known as quicksilver? Gallium, mercury, or chromium? That is mercury. The mask in the film Scream was inspired by a painting by which artist? Pablo Picasso, Edvard Munch, or Vincent van Gogh? That's by Edvard Munch. Doctors run LFT checks to evaluate the functioning of which organ? The heart, liver, or lungs? The answer is liver. German physicist Hertz produced and detected what type of waves? X-rays, microwaves, or radio waves? The answer is radio waves. Which one is Kuala Lumpur? A, B, or C? That is A. Which sound storage system was officially released in 1982? That's B, the CD. According to the saying, what is mightier than the sword? That is the pen. Which is an Alaskan Malamute? That is C. Which is fried plantain? That's A. Which is native to South America? That is the jaguar. Which is the colour vermilion? It is A. Which are hibiscus flowers? The answer is C. Which was invented in China? That's fireworks. And which one is wasabi? That's B. So what do you think of the picture rounds? Do you enjoy those? If you do, let me know in the comments down below, and also give the video a thumbs up if you're doing well so far. Let's move on to the next round, which is slightly more difficult, the medium round. Gilding which flower is the idiom that means making something beautiful more beautiful? Lily, rose, or tulip? That is lily. Doha is the capital city of which country? Oman, Bahrain, or Qatar? It's the capital of Qatar. The famous Ponte Vecchio is in which Italian city? Rome, Venice, or Florence? That's found in Florence. Which rock band is the best-selling artist in Irish history? U2, the Cranberries, or the Corrs? It is U2. Which emblem is on the flag of NATO? A globe, dove, or compass? It is a compass. The nomadic Berber people come from which part of the world? North Africa, Scandinavia, or Northeast Asia? They are from North Africa. What does a conchologist collect? Coins, eggs, or shells? The answer is shells. Which sea lies to the north of Turkey? The Caspian, Black, or Red Sea? The correct choice there is the Black Sea. Queen Victoria's husband was a prince from which country? Spain, Germany or France? The answer is Germany. Who shot and killed Billy the Kid in 1881? Doc Holliday, Pat Garrett or Wyatt Earp? That was Pat Garrett. A nanosecond equates to what fraction of a second? A millionth, thousandth or billionth? It is a billionth. Which cereal crop is used to make single malt Scotch whisky? Wheat, barley or oats? It is barley. The darling buds of which month are mentioned by Shakespeare in Sonnet 18? June, May or April? The answer, the darling buds of May. The prefix osteo refers to which part of the body? Bones, teeth or tendons? That is bones. Parasites of the genus Plasmodium cause which disease? Malaria, polio or Ebola? They cause malaria. Where in Scotland is the oldest golf course in the world located? Glasgow, Edinburgh or St Andrews? That's at St Andrews. Obey your thirst is the iconic slogan of which drink? Coca-Cola, Sprite or Fanta? That's for Sprite. Which weapon is a long curved sword with a sharp outer edge? A pike, halberd or scimitar? That is a scimitar. Which fashion house made the perfumes Opium and Rive Gauche? Yves Saint Laurent, Chanel or Versace? They are by Yves Saint Laurent. On which flat mathematical shape might you be asked to calculate the hypotenuse? A triangle, hexagon or square? That's on a right-angled triangle. So now it's time for my Tough 10. These are truly tough questions, the kind you would probably find at the end of a game show where it was for the star prize. Now there's no prizes to be won here except for bragging rights. So if you're ready, let's play the Tough 10. Which American city was named in 1758 after a statesman who later became a British Prime Minister? Boston, Philadelphia or Pittsburgh? The answer is Pittsburgh. Elephant birds were exclusively native to where? New Zealand, the Galapagos Islands or Madagascar? They were native to Madagascar. What does a viticulturalist cultivate? Grapes, apples or bananas? The answer is grapes. The theory that the simplest explanation is usually the best is Occam's what? Law, razor or rule? That is Occam's razor. Fidelio was the only opera composed by which composer? Bach, Beethoven or Mozart? That's by Beethoven. A star that has exhausted its fuel and collapsed into a dense, electron-degenerate remnant is a what? A pulsar, white dwarf or quasar? That is a white dwarf. Canaletto was most famous for painting which Italian city? Naples, Rome or Venice? The answer is Venice. In mythology, who lost a contest with Athena to become the patron deity of the city that became known as Athens? Zeus, Poseidon, or Apollo? That was Poseidon. The element gallium is named after the Latin name for which country? Spain, France, or Italy? The answer is France. Montserrat Caballé was famous in which field of the arts? Sculpture, jazz music, or opera? The answer is opera. Thank you to the hundreds of you who have already signed up for my weekly newsletter, and I'd like to invite everybody to join. It's completely free, so if you'd like to get a quiz and a couple of interesting articles to your inbox each week, all you need to do is sign up using the QR code on the screen here or the link in the description down below, and I'll start sending that to you every Friday. Thanks for playing, and don't forget to give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, subscribe if you haven't already, and now play another quiz.